Steph wasn't home when I got home Thursday night. I figured she was just running late, no big deal. Wouldn't be the first time. Not that we had any serious plans. It was the beginning of a long holiday weekend, but I figured we'd just stay home and relax. She would be home soon and we would decide what to do about dinner. I called her, but her phone was off for some reason. I left a voicemail saying I was home, loved her and would see her soon. I was getting worried when I found the note. She had left it on the kitchen table, which wasn't a very smart decision. That table is always cluttered with trash, and we have to clean it up every time we want to use it. Dave, I'm doing this the cowardly way, I admit it. Before I say anything else, I have to make it clear that I know you deserve a lot more than that from me. I'm really sorry about that. I wanted to say it in person. I've tried and almost done it so many times, but I never had the courage and I just couldn't bring myself to do it. First, you have to realize that this has nothing to do with you or how I feel about you. I do love you and I always have. Marrying you was the best decision of my life. I am so grateful to have you in my life. You are a wonderful husband, a wonderful lover, an amazing father to our children, and the best partner in every way anyone could ever dream of. I am incredibly honored to be your wife, and I hope that above all else, our marriage can survive what I have to tell you. I won't be home tonight or this weekend. I'm out on a date. Yes, on a date, specifically for the weekend. I'll be out of town and I'll be back Monday afternoon. I'm not going to tell you who they are or where we're going. I don't want you to do anything that we'll regret. This is our first trip as a couple and it's a big step for us. I'm afraid this has been going on for a long time. You haven't noticed yet and it's not affecting you or our relationship. If anything, it's been good for us. I'm happier, I appreciate you more for what you are and what you're not, and it's made our marriage better. But I can't deny that I am strongly attracted to another man. I fell in love with him without wanting to and I have to continue this relationship. This is what I have to do for myself at this time in my life. I desperately hope that you will understand me and find it in your heart to accept the situation and forgive me. I know you are probably upset. I don't know what to say to you. My feelings for this man are real and love is never wrong. I expect this to be hard for you. I recognize that the situation is not ideal and I could have handled it much better than I have handled it so far. But things are the way they are and I don't regret starting this affair. I know I'd regret it a lot more if I hadn't done anything. I would have spent the rest of my life wondering what if and never would have been able to live that way. Looking back, I realize that maybe I should have given you a chance to be a part of the decision to open our marriage to that other person. In my defense, I can only say that I tried to spare your feelings and would have started this relationship no matter what you said. I was worried that you wouldn't be able to handle it, and decided it would be best if you didn't find out. Please understand that I didn't do all of this to hurt you. I really hope you don't decide to ruin our marriage over this. I don't want you to destroy our family. I did what I did and there's no undoing it. I suppose you'll respond as you see fit. Maybe you'll ask to separate for a while or maybe you'll consider divorce, but that's not what I want. I still love you with all my heart, and know that if we work together we can find a way through this, and create a way for us all to live happily and peacefully with each other. In a perfect world, you and them would be best friends and equal spouses to me, and I could be a loving wife to you both. Maybe I'm just dreaming, but now I'm no longer afraid to ask for what I need. Even if we can't go that far, I'm sure that as adults we can agree and somehow work things out. So please take advantage of these few days and think hard about what you want. My phone will be off, so don't try to call me. I will not call you unless there is an urgent need. When I get back on Monday, your feelings of jealousy and anger should subside and we can talk calmly and rationally. I really love you, Dave. I'm sorry about the way things turned out. Try to have a good weekend and take care of yourself. We'll talk on Monday. Love, my dear beloved husband, your Stephanie. Next chapter, you bitch. Damn you. God damn you. I'm not gonna tell you who they are, you goddamn bullshitter. I know exactly who he is, you Como. He's skinny little shit Lee Davenport, the music teacher at the high school where you're vice principal, and he's a little effeminate prick. That bastard always gave me the creeps. God, you must think I'm a stupid, lying, cheating bitch. Trying to deflect my perfectly accurate suspicions with all this gender-neutral language, trying to throw me off balance, makes me wonder if it might be a woman. Jesus, I never knew what you saw in that guy. He looks like he'd fall over if you breathed on him too hard. He's so sensitive, you say. The bastard is vegan, has a gluten sensitivity and irritable bowel syndrome to top it off. You invited him over often and fussed endlessly over his special food, and he barely ate anything. He loved peas. Peas? Who the hell gets excited about eating peas? You still haven't noticed, and it hasn't affected you or our relationship. Damn, I haven't noticed. I did notice. I got goosebumps when I first met him and it never stopped. And that didn't stop you from raving about that little shit like a lovesick schoolgirl. You talked about him for months. You constantly asked him out to dinner because, in your words, he has a hard time making friends. You playfully set him up with women you knew and asked me for ideas, which you always ignored. Then at one point you claimed he was gay, and that somehow made him even more attractive to you. You kept reminding me that he was gay so I wouldn't feel threatened, but I knew it was bullshit. He never showed any interest in anyone but you. And then, about 2 years ago, you suddenly stopped talking about him so often, to my eternal relief. Don't you dare think I didn't notice you'd become more affectionate with me. I fooled myself into believing our marriage was in better shape, yes, and that's my fault. Maybe I attributed it to that little rebound that must happen when we become empty nesters. Mike and Jessica were looking at colleges when this whole thing started, and I thought you were looking forward to our new freedom. Silly me. You were looking forward to your new freedom. Don't you tell me I didn't suspect anything? Don't you tell me I was never jealous? Don't you dare tell me I never drove myself crazy worrying about you and him, and what you were doing working those extra hours. You did. Believe me, I did. You saw me. You saw what you were doing to me. You called my jealousy cute and stupid. You laughed at me for it. You laughed at me for it. You called me insecure. We're just friends, you said. We're coworkers. We work together. You're making this up. You have nothing to worry about. That's what you said every time I just twitched an eyebrow about my time with that skinny bastard. No, no, no. You made it clear to me that my job was to trust you, to believe you, and take comfort in the lie that you would never ever betray me. If I had stood up for myself, I would have been at fault. You used that shit against me like a nuclear weapon. We spent the last 2 years of our marriage playing brinkmanship, for crying out loud. I could never say anything about it because it would make me look bad. I never called you guilty of your shit because that would mean I'm a greedy and narcissistic and bad and stupid and crazy person. Bad husband. Bad. God, you called me childish and insecure and weak. You even made me believe you. I honestly thought I was going crazy. That was easier to deal with than you betraying me like that, completely and permanently. You used the kids against me. Damn you. If I dared to tell the truth, I'd be the bad guy, guilty of ruining the marriage, of breaking up the family. You've abused every bit of love and trust I've given you. You've worn her down to the point where it's not even funny, you smug, self-righteous, greedy cretin. And you're still doing it. What kind of monster are you that we can go on like this while you think everything is fine? Screw you, Stephanie. Screw you to hell. Next chapter. I thrashed around the house like a caged tiger, mentally screaming at myself, screaming at her, screaming at him. Damn it. It's a letter. It's a goddamn letter. She's so full of shit. She's so delusional. She was never going to talk to me about this in person. I know her too well. She just tells herself that to make herself feel better. She's written and rewritten 10 different versions of this shit on her laptop, painfully picking the right phrases to make it look like she's taking responsibility for it, but really isn't, and making me look like a villain if I can't handle her shit. She must have spent weeks on this. Weeks. And then, when everything was perfect, she neatly hand-wrote the whole thing on a nice stationery form her mom gave her years ago that we never used, just so I knew she was being serious and sincere, like it was meant to be a love letter or a letter of remembrance. If there's one good thing about all of this, it's that at least I know I'm not crazy. For 2 years I've been banging my head against the walls, telling myself that I didn't see what I saw, didn't believe what I knew, and didn't feel what I felt. God help me, it's almost damn holy. So, whatever my marriage to Stephanie was, it's over. It's been over for a long time. At least now I know where I am. I was one of her husbands. My opinion and feelings might have mattered enough to make her lie to me, but not enough to stop her from cheating on a goddamn whore. I don't even matter enough to make her talk to me. I have no way of knowing how things are going in my own goddamn marriage. She'll just say, yeah, okay, I did a bad thing, but it's your problem now, and the divorce and ruined house will be my fault if I don't follow her plan to cheat on me and rub it in my face. Next chapter. A few hours passed. The first wave of anger had passed as well, flaring bright as a match, but starting a flame that would burn perhaps for the rest of my life. Now it was joined by a deep sadness the likes of which I had never known. How could she? How can she? Was she really that cold? So heartless? Did she not care about me at all? Not if I got in the way of whatever or whomever she wanted, I guess. If she had that kind of shit in her, then I never knew who she really was. 22 years of marriage down the toilet because she just had to have fun, and it didn't matter how her stupid husband felt about it. I didn't even deserve to be informed about it until she could avoid it. She still won't talk to me. I'm just her stupid dumb damn husband who only gets in the way of true love, and I'm a jerk if I don't fold up like a lawn chair. So she'll deal with my little tantrum later when I've had my fill of crying. Damn. Am I really that bad? Did she really have to go outside the marriage to get what she needed but what I couldn't give her? Couldn't she have talked to me about it? If she wasn't happy, couldn't we have tried going to counseling or something? Did she really have to treat me with such disdain? Was she really supposed to write me off so quickly? So insistently? Damn it, Steph. How did we get to this point? What are we going to do with the house? I didn't have anywhere else to live. Not yet. Maybe things will change. Maybe I'll move. Maybe she will. How could any of this work? Why did she have to ruin our lives like that? Oh shit. Oh my god. Oh my god. No. She doesn't want to disrupt our lives at all. She wants to keep doing what she's been doing, still having fun with this asshole, but now out in the open. Maybe she'll start spending nights at his place. Maybe she'll want to move him into this house, my house, my house, my house, God, and have him be an equal husband here. Damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it. How could she? How could she think that? What the hell was wrong with her? What I never expected from an experience like this. The rage, the tears, the whirlwind of thoughts and emotions, the anxiety, the fear, and hell knows what else. It's exciting. I've been thrashing around the house for 7 hours now. I feel tired beyond belief, but it's impossible to fall asleep. I haven't eaten since lunch, but I'm not hungry. I'm surprised I haven't thrown up. Maybe I should get drunk, but I can't bring myself to do that either. It would be pointless. I already feel drunk. That part of my consciousness has woken up enough to realize that I'm following Stephanie's instructions. Everything is going according to her plan. Let my emotions burn out while she's safely isolated from them, and then we can talk, and then she'll do her best to get me back under her control. Shit. She treats me like one of the teenagers at her school. They're all furious and hurt and hormonal and have no real options. She lets their feelings dissipate and brings them back to the program. This is a huge mistake, Steph. I'm not a child to deal with. I'm not someone you can control or talk to. You can't pretend that the problem is me and my immature feelings. My feelings are 100% mature and appropriate. And yes, now that I think about it, I have a lot of options. I am in a position where I can do a hell of a lot of things you won't like. I can burn your life down the way you burned mine down. I won't cooperate anymore. So far, I've reacted to her blows by pressing my back against the ropes. Not anymore. I have weekends. I have room to maneuver. I can take a breath, take my time, think through my options, and make my move. I'm not going to play her game. I'm not going to just sit back and put up with it. I'm going to do something she'll never think of or expect. I'm going to do something completely out of character for her, and she'll have no idea how to handle it. Something beyond the capabilities of a frustrated teenager. I got in my car and just drove, having no idea where I was going. I just needed to get out of there. If only I knew what to do. Next chapter. The Diamond Lounge didn't look its best on the best of days, and this day wasn't one of the best. But at night, the dizzying array of lights turned it into a carnival. The paint was bright pink with neon accents, and everything looked shiny, trashy, and moderately unsightly. I hadn't been to a strip bar in decades. The last time was at Keith's bachelor party, and we were barely old enough to be allowed in there. The girls working here now weren't even born then. God, some of them could have been Jessica's age. I wasn't sure about all that. Standing at the door was a large black man in a tight t-shirt and a jacket he'd somehow squeezed into. Jerome was polite, friendly, and welcoming, but also somehow let me know that there would be no nonsense tonight. He collected my entrance fee and invited me inside. When you walk into a place like this, it's a little disorienting. The bass of the music sounded like a truck with a bad muffler. The lights were red, pink, and flashing white, and I wasn't sure I wasn't going to have a seizure. The girls were walking around in lingerie and club clothes that were even tighter than underwear. Some ladies were topless with little pasties or tassels, which was very different from what I usually see on a Friday night, but after 4 or 5 minutes it seemed normal. I visited the ATM in the corner, withdrew an amount I hoped would be enough, and shuddered at the service charge. The drinks were disgusting, crap and water, but the dancers were good. Each of the dancers would come up after their performance, flirt with those who tipped big, and try to get them into private rooms. I failed to get the attention of the first few girls, but Candy immediately approached me after her performance. "Hi. Thank you for your generosity. Did you enjoy my dancing?" "Yes. It was incredible. I've never seen anything like it." "I'm glad to hear that. My name is Candy. What's yours?" "Dave." "Nice to meet you, Dave," she said. "Listen. Dave. Normally I'd be sitting here flirting, but I can smell heartbreak a mile away." You can hear a southern drawl in her voice, probably from Tennessee or Kentucky. "I promise I can help. It's what I do. That's why I'm here. I'm sure you know that all the girls here use stage names. My name is actually Cookie. Cookie Delridge." "Cookie? Is that a real name?" "Sha. Yes. And I only share it here with people I can trust because I need them to trust me. Later I'll show you my ID with my real name and real address. I will do this because you are clearly not a predator. You're the kind of person who never comes to places like this. You're only here because you've been wronged. You feel alone and don't know what to do. I can see that, and you need my help. Some people rescue cats or volunteer at the soup kitchen. I heal broken hearts. Your wife has really worn you out, hasn't she?" Yes. Is it that obvious?" "It is to me. It's written all over your face. And look at your hand." She took my left hand and held it out palm up. "You have calluses here and here." She touched the edge where your wedding ring should have been. "And the skin in between is smooth. Your ring has hardly ever left your hand, has been for years, and it hasn't been off for a very long time. Did it happen tonight?" "Yes. I left the ring in the car. I wondered if Steph had taken hers off while she was with Lee. Probably not. She'd never thought of betraying our marriage with her body. Why would she even remember her ring?" She took my other hand. "You're right-handed. Let me see." The lighting wasn't great, but she found what she was looking for. "Your love line is broken. There's a gap. And here. It looks like you have 2 children. A boy and a girl. Twins. Oh my God. How did you do that? Am I wrong?" No, you got it. Mike and Jessica, they've gone off to college. Good for them. Good for you too." "Yeah. Thanks. No, I'm serious. You're doing a good job of being a father. Where do they go to school?" "Mike is at the State University, studying architecture. Jessica's staying put, but she's living in a dorm on campus. She needs the college experience. She's studying to be a psychology major." Cookie nodded, looking at me intently. She let out a soft "hmm." She rose from my lap and led me by the hand to the hallway at the edge of the room. "Listen, I'm going to walk you out in private. There are rules, but don't worry about that right now. 20 for 1 dance or 50 for 3. The curtain stays closed. There's a security camera, but it doesn't record. Jerry will explain the rules to you, but you're a special case and I won't dance." She nodded toward the man behind something like a bank window once we were around the corner. "Give him the money and the house will pay me. You can tip extra if you want once we're inside. Don't worry about that now." You and I have more important work to do. This may take a while. Work? You need to tell me your story. Get it out of you. I'm going to listen to you, convince you that you're a good man despite everything she did, and convince you that any woman would be lucky to have you. And then I'm going to use all my talents to make you feel better. She kissed my cheek chastely and stepped back, still holding my hands. I'm going to go change for our little party. I'll meet you in room 3 in a few minutes. Go talk to Jerry. You're Jerry, I presume? I asked the guy. $50 for 3 dances, another 50 for 3 more, and so on. He mouthed this in a robotic monotone, repeating the same thing dozens of times throughout the night and barely realizing it anymore. Do not harm, threaten to harm, or endanger the lady in any way. Do not use force or threaten to use force under any circumstances. For any inappropriate behavior, you will be immediately removed from these premises and there will be no refunds. Do you understand these rules as I have explained them? Yes. 50. I held out the money to him. He relaxed a little and spoke again, this time as if we were friends. C gave me a sign that you're one of her special cases. I'm sorry to hear that, but it happens. Today is your lucky day. She can really help. This time and this time only, 3 songs means you can be there until she says you're done. Congratulations, room 3. I pulled back the curtain. It was smaller than a room but bigger than a cubicle. There was a sturdy chair built into the wall, with the back at a 45-degree angle like a chair and something like hinges or handles on top. On a small nightstand was a pack of antibacterial wipes. I like your tattoo. Does it have any special meaning? It's called the triquetra knot. It's thousands of years old. It was originally meant to symbolize earth, sea, and sky. Perhaps also life, death, and rebirth. It was used to evoke the 3 states of the divine feminine, virgin, mother, and crone. And, of course, Christians have used it to refer to the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. But to me it means something else. And what is that? You'll have to guess. Don't waste your time on the first try. You only get 3 tries and you have to know me very well to at least start guessing. I have a lot of friends I've known for years who don't even come close. If you don't guess right, I'll never tell you and you'll never know. No one has guessed right yet. She stood up, turned, took my hands and sat me down. Relax. Take a few deep breaths and exhale slowly. She took off her wig. Was it a wig? Just don't worry about it and let me drive. You're okay, Dave. You're a good man. Tears involuntarily filled my eyes. There's nothing wrong with you, nothing lacking. You're not perfect. You have your flaws just like me, just like everyone. But you're a good man. You're a good husband, a good father, a good son, and a good friend. I burst into tears again, our breathing hitched, mine becoming punctuated by sobs. You don't deserve what happened. It's unfair and it's wrong. I'm really, really sorry. You're a good person. You deserve love. You deserve to be treated better. My eyes closed and my chin pressed against his neck as I convulsed, choking back sobs. I hadn't cried this hard since I was a tiny baby. I could feel it all pouring out of me like flood water, and Cookie just put her arms around me and let me know she was there for me. That's right. Let it out. Let it all out. Tell me your story, she said, and my mouth opened and the words came out. I wasn't in control of myself. Dave and Steph's story had sprung up on its own, using me as a receptacle. How we met in high school, our first dates, the wedding, the birth of our twins, buying our first house, struggling with bills and schedules, my career and hers. And then, the introduction of Lee Davenport into her life, her infatuation with him, the deterioration and destruction of what I thought was a good marriage. By the time I finished, the words were gone. The rage was more of a bubbling cauldron than an inferno, and the only expression on my face was sobbing. That's good. That's good. Thank you for sharing so well with me, Dave. You've done a marvelous job. You're so good with your feelings and you have every right to all of them. You are right to feel the way you feel. I know it hurts, Dave, but I promise you that we will work through this. We will fix it, no matter how it looks in the end. It's going to be okay in the end, even if it's all screwed up right now. I can't tell you how it's going to happen, or what it's going to take, or how your life will turn out afterward. But it's going to happen. Do you understand? Sure. I'm serious, Jim. Serious as death. I know you think it's just one night, one incident you paid for, and you think you'll never see you and me again after this. That's not true. I'm not just going to pat you on the head, say poor baby and forget about you. That's not how I work. I don't give up in cases like this. I never do. It's who I am. It's what I do. She gets hers and he gets his. I'll be with you till the end. I'm in your life now. Whatever it takes. Do you understand? I shuddered, suddenly cold, and then it went away. She felt me nod uncertainly. Say it out loud. I'm with you. You're with me. One more time. Can you hear me? Do you understand? I can hear you, Cookie. Good. Now just hold me. Like this. I did. Time stopped for a while. I was awake. But I wasn't awake either. I was in a liminal state, hypnotized in a moment that stretched into eternity. We could have lain like that for minutes or hours or days. You still love her, Cookie whispered. Of course I do. You don't know what you'll do without her. True. But you also don't know how you can be with her going forward. I don't know how I can even look at her. I think it's clearer that way. The wife you had before tonight won't seem the same to you as the one you'll see from now on. You will see her as she really is. That's for sure. Hey, I understand. You're feeling aimless right now. Helpless. Like everything happens so fast and there's nothing you can do to stop it. Everything is out of your control. You thought you had it all figured out, but now your whole world is turned inside out like it was an illusion all along. Pretty much. The good news is that nothing has changed. It's just the same as it was. The only thing that has changed is your awareness. Awareness is a good thing. You recognize the reality of the situation. You have more power now than you did before. I suppose that's true. But you don't feel it because you don't own your power. That's why you still feel helpless. God, yes. Steph thinks she can just lord it over me, and she's right. If I don't go along with her plan, the marriage will fall apart and I'll be the bad guy who separated us. Or maybe she'll tell everyone that we drifted apart and parted amicably, and she's just very lucky that Lee has been such a good friend to her, offering support and companionship when she needed it. Anything but the truth that she lied and cheated on him for years while we were married. It doesn't matter. Everything she does doesn't matter anymore. She may believe she's backed you into a corner, but so what? She's wrong. Only one thing matters. Only one thing matters at all.